Hey, what's up? Hello, everybody. This video, I'm gonna be making a Resident Evil tier list of all the games I played. Um, I've only really played these games, honestly. I haven't played the spin-offs. I haven't played the original Resident Evil 1 and 2. I haven't played Code Veronica yet, so we'll get to or Zero. Damn. What are the Revelations games? Damn. Yeah, I'm missing a lot. But I played all the mainline games. I'm not sure. I haven't played the trilogy. I played RE3 Nemesis. I haven't played Code Veronica. I'm not sure if this is a mainline game, but I'll probably do play it. I mean, it looks like it, honestly. I think that's Chris, and is that Claire? Yeah, I think that's Claire. I don't know about the Survivor games or the Outbreak. I think I'd play Outbreak if I get the chance. I do want to play the Umbrella Chronicles, but I know it's like one of those first person, the game runs for you and you have to shoot. I don't know, we'll have to see. But we're just gonna get straight to it. Like, I'm gonna be ranking all these games from worst to best. Worst is 10, best is 1. Let's do it. Okay, let's get into it. So number 10, I hate to do it, I think this is the worst Resident Evil game, and that's going to be oh my god, that's gonna be Resident Evil 6. So before I even rip into this game, bro, let's go over the positive first, okay? The game is co-op. Like, the co-op is pretty fun. What else is there? The game is like long as hell. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of campaign in the game. The graphics is alright. The mercenaries mode is pretty good, actually. I don't have footage for the mercenary modes, but it was cool. Like, I also like the action. I like the dodging mechanic, and also like the melees. But here's where it gets a little bit too much. I didn't like that that it was too much action and not enough horror. I'm sorry. Resident Evil 6 is not scary whatsoever. Resident Evil 5 wasn't scary. I'm not saying Resident Evil 5 sucks. I'm saying Resident Evil 5 was a lot of action, right? But it had like some scariness. Like, well, what was scary about Resident Evil 5? Shit, I don't even remember. But it had something. It had something. On this game has no horror whatsoever. I mean, when you think about it, Leon's campaign in like the first like 2 to 3 chapters was alright, I guess. Like, that campaign had like a darker atmosphere than like, well, I say Chris or Jake's. By the way, I didn't play Ada's campaign because I actually didn't give a fuck. I also didn't like the new skill system and like the inventory management. Like, that was ass. I'm sorry, the skill system's ass. You don't need all that. Inventory management was fine, I guess. I mean, it was a bit confusing, that especially the herb system. The herbs is moronic, bro. When I was playing Resident Evil 6 for the first time, I actually did not know how to heal until I actually searched it up. So what you had to do, you had to press H to combine the herbs, and I don't know why you could have just you can't just use the herbs yourself. Why do you have to combine them and then press 1? You have to press 1 on the keyboard to heal, and you get healed 1 bar. Well, I also like the melee takedowns they had. I mean, they were cool, I guess. Like, Leon was doing kicks and shit. I mean, Chris was just picking zombies up and throwing them across the room. That was cool. That was cool. I will give them that. I will give them that. Going back to the campaign issues, there's 4 campaigns. There's Leon, Chris, Jake, and Ada. Bro, I know it said it's good to have a long campaign, but it's also really bad for Resident Evil 6. Honestly, I did not like how dragged out it was, especially in Leon's campaign. Oh my god. There's just one guy named Simmons, right? And he's the final boss of Leon's campaign. Simmons actually drags out the game by like 2 hours or some sort. Simmons gets infected by Ada. Spoilers. Sorry about that. And he becomes like a superhuman tyrant thing, right? He can become a dog. He can shapeshift into like a monster, whatever it is. Simmons got hit by a train, a couple of explosions. Leon shot like 30 bullets at him, and this guy was still alive. It was so dragged out, and he became some sort of like giant hornet fly, and that was just so boring. You had to get a lightning rod, and you had to put it on the zombie, and then the hornet or the big ass bug thing would take it, and then and the lightning strike would shock it, and then you'd kill it that way. That took so long. That was not fun whatsoever. Like, Simmons ruined Leon's campaign for me. That's how bad it was. I hated that shit. The enemy in the boss design, I really didn't. The enemies in Resident Evil 6 weren't even that cool, to be honest. They don't, compared to the older games, like, the design was a mess. I'll tell you that. But the co-op was good for Resident Evil 6. It was fun. If you can play Resident Evil 6 with a friend, go ahead, do that. Don't play by yourself, because you play by yourself, you can get bored out of your mind. You'll be bored out of your mind, dude. I was unfortunate to play Resident Evil 6 by myself, because none of my friends want to play that shit, bro. Like, it's understandable. Like, no one wants to play Resident Evil 6 anymore. No one wants to play Resident Evil 6 back then either way. I think one thing I would want from the Resident Evil 6 remake, if it even gets a remake, dude. If it even gets a remake, I would want it to have an entire reboot. I would want a new game. Like, cut out. So, okay, people hate having cut content from remakes, but this is the game that actually needs cut content. Like, let's be real. There's too much dragged out shit in that game. Especially Simmons. Remove Simmons from like the entire plot, man. He's so dumb. He's problematic. He's problematic. For the remake, I still want the co-op. I still want the 4 campaigns, but don't make them, don't make them oversaturated, I guess, and bloated. And just make the story a little, like, make the story better. Make the campaigns more connected. Bro, some of the campaigns are on 2 different sides of the world. One's in China and one's in like an other side of the world. I don't even know where. I don't even remember. And for the reboot, I would like the game to be much more horror instead of less action. Like, enough with the action. Action is the reason why Resident Evil is dying. And that's why Resident Evil 7 saved it. Okay. Let's move on from this game. I'm done talking about Resident Evil 6. Okay, let's move on from number 10. And let's go to number 9. Okay, I think every game besides Resident Evil 6 on this list right here is a good game. Right? It kind of pains me to do this, but I'm going to put this game as number 9. I'm putting Resident Evil 5. Listen, Resident Evil 5, don't get me wrong, it's a very good game. It's fun. If you have someone to play with. If you don't have someone to play with, this game is a snort. It's a snooze fest. It's boring as shit. Let me tell you why I like it. I like the co-op, obviously. Don't play with the bot. Shiva is stupid. And she'll waste your heals. She'll take all your ammo. And she's just annoying. Okay? Secondly, combat mechanics are good. I like them more than, I think they're better than RE4. Wait, would I say they're better on? No, I think this is the same as RE4, but I think they had a little bit more. I like the stomping. The stomping is good. The stomping mechanic is good. I also like the difficulty about RE5. I think RE5 is one of the better tuned games, in my opinion. Like, enemies actually react to my shots. The boss fights aren't that bad, except for the Ouroboros fight. The Ouroboros fight, oh my god, I think it was trash. Sorry, that fight is trash. The one with the flamethrower, man, The one in like the laboratory had to be the flamethrower, bro. That fight was so trash. The flamethrower didn't do anything for you. It didn't do anything for you. All right. Next, what I'd say, I like the mercenaries mode. Like the mercenaries was cool, I guess. I think I like the mercenaries mode the most in RE4 remake because like, come on, no, that's just the best. Let's be real. The voice acting was pretty good actually. I also say that I like the voice acting in Resident Evil 5. I also like Chris. Like Chris was cool in Resident Evil 5. I think he was the best he's ever been in the series in 5. There's a lot of unlockables to get. You can get like infinite ammo, alternate costumes, and like new weapons. I don't remember which weapons you can get. It's been a long time since I played RE5, but yeah, it's a good game. Just play with someone. Okay, let's go to the reasons why I put it at number 9 though. The game's kind of clunky. The controls. Listen, I never minded the tank controls till I got to RE5. RE5's controls are so bad. I don't understand how you can play them. Like when I played RE5, it was a pain to get through it. If you play by yourself, this game is one of the worst games ever. Now I want to say the worst games ever. It's really boring. Play by yourself. Okay, let's talk about the negatives about RE5 and why I think it's number 9 compared to the other games. The game isn't really that scary. When you go from RE4 and then go to RE5, you'll feel the tension. Like the game isn't scary at all, man. I'm gonna be real with you. It doesn't feel like Resident Evil. Like there's no tension. Like there's no fear and tension in the game, and that goes with RE6 as well. RE6 isn't scary whatsoever, but in RE5, I think the game takes place in like broad daylight, which is one of the reasons why I don't like it. Like the atmosphere, bro, when it's sunny, it doesn't feel scary. That's just me though. That's just me. Okay, the partner AI for goddamn Shiva, man. Man, Shiva's just an annoying little prick. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not like her. What else did I not like? I also didn't like the storyline. The storyline is kind of weird. Like I didn't like what they did with Jill. Jill's like superhuman now, and she has this storyline or this like narrative where she can't age anymore. I mean, she can age, but she ages slowly, and that's like one of the reasons why they don't have it in any games anymore, which is kind of lame. The Jill's a cool character. I don't like what they did to her. Like, honestly, I would have preferred it was just Chris and Jill. Like, that should have just been it. And to put, bro, I think the most disrespectful moment, bro, is when Shiva killed Wesker. Shiva took the rocket. No, hold on. Shiva took the rocket with Chris and they shot Wesker. I was not Chris and Jill. They go way back, bro. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, bro, I hated that. That's just me, though. That's why I think Resident Evil 9, my bad. Excuse me. Resident Evil 5 is number 9. Okay, so the next one I'm gonna put on the list is probably the Resident Evil 3 remake. And in my opinion, I think the Resident Evil 3 remake is a good Resident Evil game. I don't think it's a good remake. Like in my opinion, I think the game had the best mechanics. Well, not the best mechanics. Well, okay. Here's what I meant to say. I meant to say this. I think the dodge mechanic was better in the remake than the OG. I think the remake's way more fun than the OG, but the OG has more nuance to it. The gameplay was way more fun in the remake. The gameplay was fine, like the dodging and all that stuff like that. It was cool. Nemesis, a little disappointing. Like Nemesis could have been, he could have been like Mr. X, but way faster, like at all times. That's what I want from Nemesis. Like Nemesis should have just been, bam, what's up? Let's fight. Anywhere, anytime. It didn't matter. But in the remake, he's heavily scripted. And that's really It's really annoying, to be honest. Like I wish he was just. I wish he could chase you whenever he wanted, like in RE3 OG. And if there's one thing, there's two things I don't like about this game, right? I don't like the fact that the game is too short. The game is pretty short, man. They should have just whatchamacallit. They should have kept the clock tower. I won't lie to you, the clock tower is not that good in the OG. I don't care what anybody says. Say what you want, it wasn't that good. Well, they should have kept the clock tower, but I think they should have made it better. What's it called? Nemesis, the Nemesis fights, where he became like a dog, and then you had to put like some acid on him, man. That fight was just, that was kind of boring, to be honest. I did not like that fight. I'd rather just fight him when he's like, you know, when he's like man, human, big ass humanoid thing, just throwing hands. Like that's way cooler than just like a dog, like a dog on rabies, man. They should have kept the Raccoon Park. The Raccoon Park was cool, I guess. They could have made it better, but it was a mistake to just cut it out completely. Like completely is crazy. Like they should not have done that. What's it called? I don't like the fact that they remove choices in the remake. In the OG, you had a choice. Like for example, your first encounter with Nemesis, right? When you fight Nemesis, you can choose to fight him, or you can run back into RPD. Why did they remove that? Why is that not there? And there's like several more choices in the later game, and they affect what ending you get, which is kind of cool. But I don't know why they didn't keep that. Like that was very good in my opinion. Multiple endings would have been fine. What else do I like about Resident Evil 3 remake? I like Carlos mode. Carlos was good. Damn, I can't speak. Excuse me. Carlos was cool. Like it was pretty funny. It was way better in the remake than the OG. Jill was cool as guess. I mean, Jill's character could have been. I don't know. They changed a lot about Jill. She's too sassy or something. I don't know what's the word for it. She's like, I don't know. In the OG, she was way more caring, but in the remake, she's a little impulsive. I don't really like. I don't mind it, but it's questionable. It's problematic, but I think that's one of the main reasons they don't like her character in the remake. Or people, my bad. People don't like her character in the remake, and that's like a valid reason, in my opinion. Like, that's fine, honestly. It is what it is. The hospital in the remake was better. Like, it made it way longer. The hospital in the OG took you like 5 minutes. And it was only longer if you didn't know how to do the puzzles. That's literally it. All you had to do was just go down the elevator, get the goddamn key or the code, and then you're good. And then get the serum for Jill, and then you're good. That's literally it for the OG. But in the remake, you had to go. In the remake, the hospital was way longer. It was cool. And you could play as Carlos as well. I mean, you could play as Carlos as OG as well, but Carlos is way more cooler in the remake. That's it for the Resident Evil 3 remake. I'm done speaking about it. Okay, so the next one I'm gonna put on the list, it's gonna be Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8. Resident Evil 8 was really fun. I actually did like that game. It's just that the other games on this list are they're just way more fun than this one. I don't know what to tell you. Let's go with the positives. Like, I really liked the RE4 atmosphere that it had, especially like the inventory system, like the village and the snowy area. It felt like RE4 to me, in my opinion. I think the 4 lords are pretty cool. Ethan's better written. He's not that good, but he's more emotional, more determined than he was in RE7. There's a lot of replay value in this game. The lore is, I won't lie, the lore is pretty good in Resident Evil 8. Like, I think Resident Evil 8 lore is pretty good. It connects back to Spencer, which is kind of crazy, and Umbrella as well. And it's not like really relying on it too much. Like, it has some of its lore. The four levels are pretty good. My favorite obviously is Heisenberg. Morio was fine. I think Morio was the worst one actually. Morio was ass. Beneviento. Beneviento was scary as hell. Okay, that little house you went into, and you went down in the basement, and you had to power up the elevator to get back up into the house, bro. That was scary as shit. Lady Dimitrescu. I mean, she was cool, I guess. I mean, that's really it. That's all I have to say for her. The action was pretty cool. It was a good game overall. It's a good, solid game. Crafting system was fine. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I think it was better than RE7, where not every item took whatchamacallit. Not every item needed chem fluid, which was good. Why I would put it at 8? To be honest, it wasn't really that scary, in my opinion. There's a lot of ammo it gives you. It gives you a ton of ammo. It gives you insane amount of ammo. That's really it. That's all I would put for criticisms about Resident Evil 8. It's an overall good game, but other than House Beneviento, it wasn't really that scary. I don't like what they did to Ethan, bro. Ethan did not deserve that, man. I wish he survived. I wish he survived, man. Like, Ethan's a good character. I think people think he's bland, but I think he's a very determined father. Like, what he did was admirable. Honestly, I admire Ethan. He's cool. That's really it for Resident Evil 8. That's all I have to say. And it's cool. Like, people say it's an RE4 copy, but bro, it is not an RE4 copy. It remixes it or something. It takes inspiration from it, but it's not like a whole RE4 copy. That's no way. Yeah, that's really it. That's all I have to say for RE8. So the next game, I would say that's at number 6 is, okay, let me do 6 and 5 real quick, and we'll leave the last 4. I think number 6 is gonna be Nemesis, and number 5, okay, I know this might be a little controversial. I think number 5 is the original Resident Evil 4. I don't care. Let's just get to Nemesis, and then I'll talk about RE4. I know people are gonna say, "Oh my God, it's number 1. It's number 1." Oh no, it's not. It's not. Not for me though, in my opinion. So let's talk about Nemesis. Oh, RE3 Nemesis is such a good game, bro. The original is so good. Nemesis was, he's a force that cannot be stopped. It was so fun to fight. Well, when I say it was fun to fight, I mean, he was annoying. I won't lie to you. Like, the dodging you had to do for him, he was a bit annoying. But he was really scary. Like, I got scared when he kept saying stars. I was like, when you know, like door animation, and you wouldn't see anything for a bit, and it'd be like black, and you finally see Nemesis. That was cool. I also like the split second choices you had. It was like fight Nemesis or run, or just you want to push him off, or do you want to jump off. That was good. That being more endings, that was good. They should have kept that in the remake, like I said. What else did I like about Resident Evil 3 Nemesis? I also like the I like Raccoon City. Raccoon City was pretty good in RE3. Like, it was pretty good. Like, you could explore. I think I like the environment more than Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2, you're just in RPD. Like, that's really it. I mean, that's fine, but whatever. Raccoon City is way better, in my opinion. The pacing of RE3 is pretty good. I won't lie to you, the pacing of it, it's really fast, but I like it. It took me like 6 hours to beat the game. I liked when you get to the train. It was like halfway through the point. You still had a lot of stuff to do after you got to the clock tower. You had the clock tower, then you had the hospital, and then you had the laboratory, right? And before the train, you had Raccoon City. Like, that was way better pacing than the remake. The remake was way too fast, way too fast, in my opinion. Mercenaries mode was alright, like it is what it is. But if I had some gripes about it, is I don't really like how short Carlos was. Carlos was like 10 minutes long. Like his segment was 10 minutes long. That's really it. Yeah, that's really it. Like maybe the inventory management is a little annoying, I guess. There is an annoying part. Randomizing items. That was pretty annoying. Because there was when I was in like desperate times and I was like very low in R3 OG and I had no ink ribbons, right? And basically when I went to the power plant area where you had to charge stuff up for the fuse to get the battery, I guess. I think it was for the fuse. That's how you get the fuse, right? And what you have to do is you have to power it up and there would be zombies coming and then use the generator to electrocute those zombies and then you'd be fine, right? There is an item slot like near the generator that can have like anything, right? And like shotgun shells or like gunpowder B, right? And that was so good until I died and it had no ink ribbons, right? So I come back to the place and I'm like, damn, okay, where's the shotgun? Oh, no, my bad, not the shotgun. Where's the gunpowder? It's gone. And then I got screwed over and then I had to fight zombies with a knife because I had no ammo. That was very, very annoying. I mean, that's the charm of the game, but that's a complaint I would have if I had to choose. And that's really it for RE3. Let's go to RE4 now. Okay, let's go on to the infamous one. Okay. Resident Evil 4. I like this game. The pacing in this game is so good. The intro and the village fight. That village fight is probably one of the best intros ever. That was so good, man. Like it really set the tone. The pacing was really good. It just went from village to castle to island, and the boat fights and the bosses were all so good, man. Like this game's incredible. Enemies are good. They aren't just like dumbass zombies. They kind of have some brains, but some of them don't. I'm talking about like the Regenerators, the Gauradors, and Les Plagas Parasites. Those are pretty good actually. I like those enemies, especially the Regenerators. How do you pronounce that? Whatever. I don't really care. I also like that Resident Evil 4 had a good balance between action and horror. That balance in RE5 and 6 started to tip, man. That thing started to tip all the way to action. RE4's action and horror has a good balance. There's some creepy enemies. You still have to manage your ammo. There's a lot of tense atmosphere, but it also has some like tight, combat and crowd control, stuff like that. It was cool. It was cool. I also liked shooting limbs to stagger enemies. That was cool. Because if you just shoot him in the head or shoot him in the leg, you can do a takedown on him. That was so cool, man. And the merchant was cool, I guess. The villains? Was the villains good about RE4? Yeah, they were actually really good, actually. Salazar was probably the worst, I guess. Sadler was pretty good. Krauser was the best, in my opinion. Krauser was just so fun. Like, Krauser was really moving. Like, he was Wesker or something, dude. Krauser was the OG Wesker, in my opinion. Well, not as like he's like cynical as him or like mastermind like him. Like I think Krauser would kick Wesker's ass. Maybe it'd be close. Actually, now, bro, Wesker got that. Bro, Wesker got that in the bag, man. Let's be real. Wesker's beating Krauser's ass. But if I had some complaints about this game, Ashley's annoying. I don't like babysitting Ashley constantly. I mean, she's annoying, I guess. Like, she isn't that bad, but it's annoying. The tank controls, when it's an action game, the tank controls kind of like ruin this game for me. Well, it doesn't ruin the game, it does hinder the experience. The lore is fine. It doesn't really connect to Umbrella or RE1 or 2 or 3. I mean, Well, until the end, because Wesker wants the Amber or something, and Ada. I don't know. The lore isn't that connected. Like it could have been better for me, honestly. Oh, I forgot the inventory system. Inventory system is so good, man. I love it, man. The case, and you could like sort your stuff out to get more stuff. That was so good, man. The third person over the shoulder camera, great. It was so good. It revolutionized gaming. I ain't gonna lie to you. Resident Evil 4 was the one to do that. But that's really it. That's all I have to say. Resident Evil 4. Like, that's it. Peace out. Well, not peace out. Damn it. Whatever. Let's just go on to number 4. The next one I'm putting at number 4. Give me Resident Evil 7. Dude, Resident Evil 7. That game is so fucking good. That game is good. Let me tell you why. I like the return to survival horror. Dude, after you play Resident Evil 6 and you go back to Resident Evil 7, dude, it's like light, like night and day, man. Night and day. It was so good playing a survival horror game after playing this action James Bond RE6 by aliens bullshit. RE7 saved the franchise, right? I like the save rooms. I like the locked doors. Like, they brought back everything. They brought back key items. They brought back everything, man. Isolation was so good, right? I also like the first person camera of the game. Like, it was a weird change, but it was good. Like, for a psychological game, it was good as hell, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. In my opinion. The Baker family. Oh my god, the Baker family is amazing. Jack is the best one. Marguerite and Lucas are also good. They are so... Dude, when Jack was stalking you and like running after you with the shovel, dude, that thing was terrifying. He's on the same level as like Mr. X or Nemesis, in my opinion. I think Resident Evil 7 is a phenomenal game. The gameplay is really good. Well, I think the gameplay is worse than RE8, but I think RE7 is just a better game overall than RE8, because RE8 really isn't that scary. The pacing is very good, and RE7 you go from Jack to Marguerite to Lucas, and then you're done. Right? And the lore is pretty good, man. The lore is pretty good. I haven't played the DLCs. Actually, I played one DLC. I played Versus DLC, but other than that, I haven't played End of Zoe. The reason why I like RE7 is because that game is so scary. That game is actually nightmare fuel the first time playing. It was like the sound design and then random knocks on the door and hiding from Jack, and then Marguerite was terrifying as well, and the dark ass places, man. Like the first few hours was really good. And Ethan was really good as well. Okay, let's talk about some complaints about RE7. I mean, it was phenomenal, man. I mean, it's so good. But I do have some complaints though. I don't like the enemies, and well, aside from the bakers and the bosses, I don't really like enemies in this game, and enemies in Resident Evil 7. Most of the enemies are just molded. Like, where's the zombies, bro? That's what I want. I wanted the zombies. That's what I like the most. The last act of the game, the final act of the game, where you get on the submarine, bro, that part was trash. It was so dragged out. I did not like it at all, to be honest. I'd rather just be in the entire house and that's it. Then you fight, whatchamacallit, Evelyn, and like remove the entire ship, man. The ship was just, it was really generic. Just keep the house, let us fight Evelyn, and that's a perfect game, bro. Resident Evil 7, in my opinion. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, so these last 3 games, dude, honestly, you can put them in any order and you can talk me out of it, man. Like, you could say RE4 is number one, or RE2, the RE4 remake's number one, or RE2 remake's number one, or the original Resident Evil 1 remake is or the Resident Evil 2002 remake is number one. You could honestly talk me into anything. Like, I don't mind what order they're in, but here's the order I'm gonna do for the top three. Actually, I'll just go one by one. Putting Resident Evil 2 number 3. Now let's talk about Resident Evil 2. Man, when I played Resident Evil 2, man, I was so... That game was so good, man. Holy crap. I loved it so much. The reasons why I love it, bro, it was... The horror was so good. Action was so good. You had limited ammo. The puzzles were so good. And the combat wasn't bad. But it wasn't like RE3 combat, but it was fine combat. And like the combat wasn't like the main purpose of the game. It was the survival. Tank controls are gone, but the third person aiming in that game was so, it just felt so fluid to me. I don't know why. Mr. X is such a good enemy, dude. He free roams. He just goes wherever he wants. There's footsteps. Bro, when you hear his footsteps for the first time, bro, you get scared, man. You get scared. And the game's pretty long. I mean, it has their own side characters. It's either Ada and Sherry. There's Leon and Claire. Leon's A, and Claire's B. Right? And the B scenario is pretty good. Makes some changes in item placements or encounters. And final bosses changes. William was a good enemy as well. Oh, my bad, William Birkin. It's pretty faithful to the OG. I think. I'm not sure. I've watched the original and it looks kind of similar. I haven't played the original. I watched videos on it, but it looks similar. I might play the original soon. The game looks phenomenal, dude. Like the RE engine made it look the best it's ever been. But honestly, I wish A and B scenario were a bit more different. Sometimes they're kind of the same. Like story wise, it doesn't make sense with Claire and Leon being in the same RPD, and then it doesn't make sense somewhat. That's all I have for Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's such a good game. Okay, if you wanted to get into Resident Evil, but you didn't want to play an old game, and you didn't want to play a very action game, you just want like the survival horror, this is peak survival horror. Play the Resident Evil 2 Remake, you will love it. Now let's move on to number 2. Okay, so my number second game, bro, is Resident Evil 2002 Remake. You can talk me out of these two, honestly. You can switch the order, honestly, to me. You could make an argument for these two games to be number one, and I actually wouldn't even mind. But let's go over why 2002 Remake is so good. The original Resident Evil was so good, bro. Like the map, the limited saves, the ink ribbons, the locked doors, the map, especially the Spencer Mansion, is so, dude. That map is so beautifully put together. It's actually insane. The amount of, like, I know the backtracking is annoying, but when you see how like much connected shit there is, you'll start to understand how good the game is. The enemies are amazing. Crimson Heads changed the game. Basically, if you don't kill the zombie, if you don't burn or headshot it, it'll come back faster and stronger. And that actually kind of forces you to think about, do you want to waste your ammo? Do you want to waste your materials? Right? Because if you don't, it'll come back faster or stronger. Or you can just you have another choice. You can just outrun the zombie, but it might get in your way later. That's how good it is, man. The game's kind of claustrophobic. It's really intense. You're constantly exploring while also surviving. Like, the survival is so good in that game. The fixed camera angles, bro. The camera angles make it so scary. But you can't see a zombie if the camera is takes away from the zombie, so that makes it scarier. Like, you won't even see that zombie. You'll hear it, but you don't know how far away that is, right? And there's two campaigns. There's Jill and Chris. For beginners, I'd recommend playing Jill first because Jill has more inventory space. She has 8 instead of 6. She also has a lockpick, so you don't have you don't need old keys, right? It's just for beginners. And Chris is harder because he has less inventory. He needs old keys. And honestly, you should play both. I think you should play Jill's first because they both have unique events and characters and dialogue. Like Chris meets with Wesker multiple times. He also has Rebecca and Richard, while Jill talks with Wesker and Barry. Let's talk about let's talk about the replay value. There's a lot of endings. There's a lot of difficulty modes. There's a lot of unlockable weapons, right? Real survival mode is pretty good. Invisible enemy mode is very challenging, I'll tell you that. It's annoying. Like even today, bro, there's a lot of speed runs, knife only runs, and no save runs, even popular today. But honestly, I have like no complaints. I mean a complaint I would say is that it's kind of slow paced, but it requires patience, I'll tell you that. But I don't think that's really a bad thing. Like, this game is perfect. I will tell you that. But in terms of fun, I think the 4 remake is better than the Resident Evil 1 remake. But that's just me though. Let's move on to Resident Evil 4. Let's wrap this video up with the last one. Resident Evil 4 remake. Where do I start, man? This game is so fucking good. I can't stress it, bro. First, let's talk about the combat. Combat still feels like RE4 original, but there's so much more. You can aim while moving. So good, bro. You can crouch now. You can do... The finishers are way better than the original. I mean, the finishers, who knows? Honestly, the finishers can go either way, to be honest. Like you had a cool suplex, but the enemies are much better than RE4 remake. Enemies in the original felt like, I'm sorry, they felt like you were fighting styrofoam, like they were made out of Play-Doh. Because Leon was just blowing their heads like out of nowhere, man. It was he just do a regular punch, head blown off, right? Parrying, dude. Parrying make the game so fun, dude. You need parrying in professional mode. You're gonna need it. Being able to move while shooting, so good. Enemies are less predictable. Like, there's an actual challenge now. I'm not saying RE4 was easy. I'm just saying RE4 remake has more nuance to it. The inventory system, I like it more. You can sort it out. The game has an auto sort for you, which is pretty good. I love it. The merchant is cool, and there's like Spinals. There's like you can do bounties for him, like exterminate some rats, exterminate some chickens for him. It'll give you Spinals. And you can trade that for like some items, like I don't know, like a weapon part or a laser eyesight or whatever you call it. And the level design of RE4 remake is so good, dude. The village, the castle, and the island, oh, they're all so good. They're better, they're way better connected and tighter. There's a lot of, I'll tell you this, there's a lot less filler, a lot less escort, tedium, and there's more QTEs. Wait, now, my bad, excuse me. There's less QTEs. And honestly, I think less QTEs is a good thing. There was no need for that many QTEs, especially in cutscenes. I mean, the Krauser cutscene in the RE4 OG, where you fought him, I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't really needed. I think Krauser was way better in the remake than the OG. Let's talk about Ashley. Ashley isn't an annoying bum anymore. She isn't a prick anymore. She's kind of brave. She actually has a good character now. I like it. I also like the serious tone the game has now. The story's more darker, more emotionally grounded. characters like Louise, Krauser, and Ashley has like more deeper development within the game. The game actually feels like horror action. Like RE4 is what RE6 wanted to be, but no, they just said screw all the horror, action only. The lore was fine. I didn't really like. I wasn't really like, okay, cool. It was fine. It was fine. Only complaints is why is it separate ways? Why is separate ways DLC even though that was supposed to be, you know, as I was saying, Ada's DLC shouldn't have been. It should have been in game. Like it should have been extra content to the original. I don't know why they made it. I mean, it was good though. It was better in the remake than the OG, in my opinion. Yeah, that's really it. They removed the Salazar robot chase. Why, bro? That was so cool, so goofy. I mean, the laser hallway wasn't in the remake, but I mean, it's in separate ways, so it was cool. I think it's in separate ways. I don't remember. Krauser's fight was so good. There's no button mash, QTEs. It's like an actual boss fight with parrying, which is cool. That's really it. That's why I like the RE4 remake the most. It's really just fun. Honestly, you wanted to say this and this was number one, or this was number one. It doesn't matter. These three games, probably the peak of Resident Evil, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything else like it. Peace out. Well, yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe and hit the like button. Peace out, y'all. Good night.